Sanmunani, my name is Zo or Zozo, and if you're new here, I am 48, living in Denmark, Copenhagen. And just before we get started, I just want to say I love denim to denim, and I know some people consider it a uniform for prisoners, but I absolutely love denim to denim. So if you're wondering what I'm wearing a Lauren polo denim shirt that I got from my brother, and some very old Levi 501 vintage. Absolutely love. So just to get that out of the way, if you're wondering about my denim to denim outfit. Anyways, last time's video, I asked you a question. Would you like me to go in, begin to share how did I get here? Where did it all begin? And while I was contemplating on that, I had a very, very encouraging and beautiful phone call with an old friend that I went to high school with. And she gave me some feedback, which I really appreciated. And I just want to send a shout out to Nomonde Ndeza. And she just reminded me of the power of storytelling. And this is the beginning of my storytelling. I don't know if it's going to go well, but I just have to believe that coming out here as my true authentic self is going to make me connect to the people that can relate to my story or find my story inspiring or courageous. So I think I'm going to start by just saying I know that I've said I live in Denmark, Copenhagen, and I've been living here for over 25 years. But the real beginning is I am this girl that you see today, or this matured middle-aged woman now, 48, because Soweto made me, South Africa made me, but specifically, to be precise, Soweto, White City, Pimville, Dlamini. My story begins in mom is married to my stepfather and they got divorced, and we moved to my grandmother's house in White City, like all people who have had parents who got divorced, that you all of a sudden find yourself living with your grandparents and with the whole family. And we moved to White City, and I think I was about to start high school. And so you wonder, where did I start high school? If you're from White City, you're thinking, I wonder where she went. And I started high school in Mufulo, and it was called Libone Secondary School. And this is where I met all the amazing people that have also shaped the person that I am today and will continue to shape me. My teachers, the friends that I had, Nomonde, Nontlantla, Rosetta. These are the people that I hang out with, Lindy. And if you have the girls that are just part of your life and just make high school fun. I don't remember most of what I learned in class, but I remember the people that I hang out with. And I grew up in White City. So the last couple of years I would spend between White City at my grandmother's place and my aunt's house in Pimville and my father's home in Dlamini. And at some point I lived in Pimville maybe for a whole year, and actually maybe 2 years, where I was doing my matric because of so many reasons, but one specifically is that in Pimville it was a big house. We call it big house. It was like more than around 5 rooms, 2 bedrooms and three rooms, a huge kitchen and dining room, and that was huge compared to White City, where if you're from White City, it's either 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom, actually 1 bedroom with a living room and a kitchen. So there was no space for me to be studying and focusing on my matric. So my aunt's place became like the place that I spent time with. But White City became the place that shaped me because that's where I had my day-to-day. And in White City, there was a community center called Ipelecheng. And Ipelecheng, this is where I spent my time every day going to attending dance classes. And I feel like White City also shaped the person that I would become later on, that would get the scholarship to come to Denmark and study. And I know I'm in switching between the time frames, but it's timeline. But it's just to say that, I know I'm here now, but I'm sort of slowly going back into how it all began. So Soweto, White City, Pimville, and specifically White City, MA6. Emma 6. I can't even say a number. Emma 6. If you know, you know. Yes, I can't explain it in a different way. But if you live in Soweto and you live in Soweto White City, you would know Masita Emma 6. Yeah, I lived in Mas 6 and Mfulo was just next door. And being the girl that I am, woman that I am today, being streetwise, and I know I haven't lived in South Africa for many years, but being a street smart, streetwise type of woman is due partly because I grew up in Soweto. You could not be street smart growing up in Soweto. You could not be sharp in your tongue, like we're fast, when a guy stops you and you don't want to talk to them, you could not do the elevator look and flare up your nose, just show them that you're not interested and you'll not be interested today or kusasa or the next day or forever. And I still find myself doing those things even today when I'm annoyed at someone and some people are just disrespectful or the attitude is just not on point. I do that. And my daughter, who's mixed heritage, South African Danish, she says, Mom, you know that your face says a lot before you even say something. So this is just it goes to show that you can leave a place for I don't know how long, but the remnants of that place are still part of you. And another thing is, I love speaking Zulu. I have a South African friend who lives here, Linda, and there's another friend as well, Wiza. And when we speak and we want to laugh, the best way, yokuhleka in Zulu. The things that we say in Zulu, I can't say it here on YouTube, but like the language, I know I'm 48, but the language becomes a bit like, yeah. And just saying all those words, Oktugana, in a context that is not South African, it just makes it even more funnier because she and I know what we're talking about. I believe I'm saying this, but you know what I mean? And sometimes, you can use that to talk behind people's back if they don't know. They don't understand. And these are some of the perks of being a foreigner in a foreign country, speaking a foreign language. And if you're wondering, I speak fluent Zulu still. After 25 years, I speak fluent Danish and English, of course. But English never loved us and Danish never loved us. So, of course, and sometimes you're trying to say something in English and your Zulu accent just comes, yeah. And sometimes I've also been told that when I speak English, I have a bit of a Danish accent. But like, if you're South African, you know that speaking more than language is just a normal. So when people ask you, do you speak more than one language? Just like, it's the most obvious thing. Like, why mbuzalo? Like, obvious. What do you mean? What do you even mean? So there's just something special about being South African from Johannesburg, from Soweto. I can't speak for other people who are from South Africa, but I can specifically speak for people who are born and raised in Soweto. There's just something specific, something particular. Like there's a certain finesse, and even when I dance, I teach Amapiano. I haven't been in South Africa during the times of Amapiano, in Rise and all that, but just from learning from the social media and picking up the steps, because obviously I used to be a dancer and I'm a dancer. It's just the finesse that you can't find anywhere else. That is just says, wena uphume Soweto, wena uphume ndofaya, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Another thing that I still use today for my own safety, for my own convenience, ukuflata. I can't whistle, I can't go, but I can go. I don't know if my neighbors will hear me, but I can go. Oyazin. And when I do that, because I'm short, I use it to my advantage because I'm short. And if I'm in a place where it's a festival and I'm with people, and all of a sudden I lose them and they can't find me, instead of trying to look because it's hopeless, I just go. And then they look and then they find me. And also, when I'm celebrating, instead of ululating, I just nyaflate. So living, being a middle-aged woman, 48, approaching 49, and have been living over 24, over 25 years in a foreign country in Northern Europe, being from Soweto, specifically White City, I feel like White City has really shaped who I am. Survival, tactics, but also a way to meet and talk to people, and also can relate to everyone, and also having to learn the language. It was just like, so the beauty of being South African Sowetan. And another thing, I'm proud to be Sowetan. When I meet South Africans who are Cape Townian, they brag about Cape Town mountains and all that, but I'm just like, no. And when Danes or people who say, when I tell them I'm from South Africa and they say, I've been to South Africa, and then they say I've been to Cape Town, I was like, no, you haven't been to South Africa. And I was like, what do you mean? It's like, you have to go to Joburg. You have to go to Joburg. And the ones that have been to Jozi, Joburg is just, it's got its own, yeah, it's got its own vibe. It's got its own vibe, man. Um, so this was just me reflecting, just talking to my friend, my high school friend. Yazini, aish, ezinye izinto kumele siziyekele. If I can go back to talking about my high school days and with my friends and the things we'd get up to. By the way, just to let you in, I did not pass my matric the first time, the first year. Just to show you how where my priorities were. But I was living at 18. I no, I was 19. There wasn't anything about adulting. If anyone warned me that adulting was going to be hard, I would have stayed 19. I'm not sure if I mean that, but you know what I mean. Like, it's a time that I will never forget. And just talking to my friend today, who, by the way, watched my YouTube, and we just started talking about life and school. It just reminded me of life was easier then. Life was easier then. I'm not saying life is not easy now at middle age. It's easy in a way that I know what I want, I know who I am, and I am not afraid to speak my mind. I know what makes me happy. Like, I'm not afraid to walk out of doors if my happiness is no longer served. But at that time, being 19, I didn't worry about who was paying the bills. I didn't understand what my mom was going through in terms of making sure that we were taken care of. For me, it was about school. It was about abafana. It was about hanging out with my friends, going to concerts, dancing, performing. There was just so much carefreeness around that age. And today I was just whipped back into that time. And when you are a child growing up in Soweto, and I'm speaking from a time where I grew up, excuse me, and I think today, even today, that there are children who grew up in a space where there's only one parent working, and gunzima, it's tough. But the thing that I learned throughout the whole time is that you never show how tough life is at home. When you're outside, you try to look like everyone else, and that is a sense of confidence that being South African, being Sowetan gives you. You fake it until you make it. And even attending my dance classes, I didn't think that they would put me here. And I honestly would love to go back on that, like how I got here. It was because of dance, but that's another segment on its own. But today, it was just to reflect on having old friends that have been part of your lives when you were a youth, to that are still part of your life today, even though you don't see them every day, but you keep contact. Because Nomon Dendeza is one of those people that throughout the over 25 years I've been in Denmark, I've tried to connect with each time I went home, even if it was just like for 20 minutes, to say, hey, I'm around, I will come by and say hello. I feel that those are the friends that continue to be a gift in your life as you age, and continue to be a blessing in your life, and continue to be a reminder and a sense of grounding in you are who you are, and there's so much beauty in that. And the fact that you are here today is because of all those experiences and all those people and all those places that you were part of and you went to, the people that have touched your heart. So I want to dedicate this reflection and the beginning of how did I get here to all my high school friends, Nontantla, Nomonde, Rosetta, College Jala. And if I forgot someone, these are the ones that I are at the top of my head. But if I forgot you, and you made an impression on me during my high school time, I am grateful. I am grateful for you playing that part in my life to shape me to become the person that I am today, and have offered me some of the sassiness, like ukuzazi ukuthi wena uyazazi, noma umuntu akakutshela ukuthi wena ubani uthi ngilo muntu engizazi ukuthi nguye, uthi umuntu athi unjani uthi nginje, athi what do you mean ngithi kanje nje. Yeah, those are the people that each time I channel that, I'm reminded of them, that even the boys that gave me a hard time, you know what I mean? It was the first edition of How Did I Get Here, and that is dedicating part of this video to the people that have played a huge, huge part of the person that I am today. There's something special about being a Sowetan girl. To all my people who have been part of my life from day one, and the fact that I'm on the other side, away from home, it hasn't changed me a bit, but instead, the older I become, it's as if I am remembering and grounding myself in who I really am, and that is a true Sowetan white city girl, forever and ever. One is how did I get here, but talking about my time growing up in White City and the cultural center that has made me to end up in Denmark, but also the people, the mentors, the teachers, the dance teachers, the places that were instrumental in me ending up getting a scholarship to come to Denmark as a dancer. But also the challenges of growing up with this, being raised by a single parent and just believing that there is a bigger world out there. So before I end this little intro of where did I come from or how did I get here, I just decided to wear ugoga isporti, because how can I talk about being a Sowetan girl born in White City and not wear isporti? And I think isporti for me symbolizes being a Sowetan girl born in the 70s and raised, grew up in the 90s, because it's just part of the style. It's part of who you are. It's part of your DNA. And I think there's a sense of survival in it, because my mom used to tell me that it was so dangerous to grow up in White City, Orlando, and Zola. Those are places that were notorious for just being unsafe places. And being a woman or a girl growing up in those areas, you needed to have a tough skin. And I think women adopting, masculine type of wear like tomboyish was also a way of survival, but they made it in a way, they dressed in a way that also signaled style. And like, I know this is, I know what I'm doing. No one forced me to wear this. So I grew up wearing isporti, makshisa, and the way you wear it is very particular. I'll velu isigqoko nje kanje, isigqoke kanje. And when I see people wearing isigqoko kanje, I'm like, yo, yazini kanje isigqoko, usibeke kanje. And even the walk changes, And then bese uyaflate, I go to I told you ukuthi ngiyakhona ukuflate. I'm showing you this look that I'm converting right now. I'm wearing the sporty and the denim to denim and the sneakers. Amateki, it would be Converse, but I don't have Converse. So this is just to show you Uguti, when you say we bansula, this is how it look like. Whether you're a girl or a boy, mo bansula, yeah. Uba so. Anyways, the lipstick is just me being bougie. Anyways, I just wanted to, to give you a sense of what it means to be me, that even after over 25 years of living in Denmark, I still channel this Sowetan girl in me because somehow there's beauty in it, there's pride in it, there's resilience, and there's also, like knowing ukuthi uyazazi ukuthi wena ubani, uzalwa ubani, uphuma kuphi, ungazongitshela wena. It's that kind of attitude, but you can also be soft. So just reflecting on how did I get here and where is it that I come from has reminded me of this Sowetan girl that is always within me. And I think Tyler's song, when she says they've never seen a pretty girl from Joburg, I feel like she's talking to me, even though I've been living in Denmark for over 25 years. But I am that Sowetan girl because ngiyaflate amangijiva. Like ngiyamemeza mangijiva ngithi whoa angijive nje ngithulile nje kanje. Like it's that thing. So I hope that you enjoy the look, just to give you a full aspect of what it means to be Sowetan. And I am proud of where I come from. Soweto has made me who I am. White City, to be in particular, has made me to be who I am, and I am proud of that. And I'll forever honor people from Soweto, people from White City, because there's just so much creativity in Soweto, and the stars that are born, we see in the world, all begins somewhere in the township. So yeah, to finish off the video, I think I digressed a bit. I'll show you some Pantula moves to show you Guti. Angivele ngikhulume nje lamlonyeni. I know ukuthi ngenzani. I'm like mangithi ngiyipantsula waya ngiyipantsula forever. Ukujiva lokho kungikhohlisa ukuthi ngiyithene on i-microphone yazini. I'm busy talking like microphone is not on. Anyways, benginibonisa nje ama-moves ami ukuthi even after over 25 years of being away from ekhaya, I will always be that Soweto girl, that Joburg girl. Yeah, lana ngifuna ukunibonisa nje ukuthi I'm wearing my bucket hat that I bought at a market. I'm wearing a shirt from my brother. It's very, very stylish, and each time he has things that he needs to give away, and most specifically my shirts. And this is a Ralph Lauren polo shirt that he gave to me. I love the print at the back, and I'm wearing it with a Levi's 501. The bucket that I bought it at a market. I think someone made it handmade. I absolutely love the colors and just gives a summer vibe. The Levi's are 501. I always buy 501 vintage. This is a 28 waist and 29 length. They're just a perfect length and perfect shape for my body. Yeah, and they've been repaired so many times. Things when they get repaired, they get character. This is my stylish brother. As you can see. So I'm wearing this look, and the sneakers are Mateki. It's Ralph Lauren also. Normally you would wear a all-star to finish the. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and let me know which part you enjoyed the most, and just comment, like, share, and thank you for following, and thank you for being here and listening to my story on my love for Soweto, my love for White City, and how it has shaped me to who I am. And yeah, ungakhohlwa ukuthi mawufaka isigqoko ufaka isport usifake kanje ngithi. Until the next time, we'll see each other.